Yo, sorry about that. Don't know what happened. Jem he loves Havertz so much he just can't take any criticism. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go because we're gonna. I don't even Couch even gave him a score. Before
We have to let everyone back in. There was a fire drill. Everyone come back in. Everyone come back in.
The man literally jumped on the stream to tell us that Havertz was our best player, and then ended the stream. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up, man. This is real talk.
Bobby, it's not even us. It was Jem that caused the chaos.
It was Jem. It was Jem.
Everyone, come back into the building. Come back into the building, man.
Let's do the admin first. Like, share on both channels. Like, share the video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please do so. Both channels are amazing. Put in a super chat if you want to. I'll try and put as many messages up as we go, but obviously a lot of people were in here before and are going to be in here, so it's going to be a hard time to go for. So let's just go. Havertz, Couch. What if you can remember what you're going to say, or start again with Havertz, please, just in case people missed it. And I hope everyone's okay.
Oh boy! I mean, I was setting up a beautiful bet. Like I was a lovely story about how poor this guy was, and the fact that he was like borderline on a red. Like all of this stuff, and this wank of a manager decides to keep him on for what reason I don't know. Like. Sorry, he says sorry now. Now that I lost my train of thought and whatnot. Like I don't have the ability to like recapture my momentum for cooking this guy. Anyhow, like he literally gave us
technical difficulties, nothing. DJ Sab. Technical difficulties. That's all. Technical difficulties. That's all it is.
I'm gonna give him a 2 just because.
Okay.
He didn't keep the ball quite well. He didn't give it away as much as he normally does. Wasn't dispossessed a million times. And I just didn't see anything in the final third. Like he didn't really have an attempt on goal. I don't think he let off one shot.
Couch.
He's supposed to.
Can I ask you something? Tactically, do you put that? This is the interesting part, and I say because Havertz and Mount, I specifically want to ask about this. We know they've been some of the underperforming players under several managers. Do you blame Havertz himself, or do you think Potter is causing a malaise and making it even worse? No. That's my question.
No, I don't blame Potter for Havertz's form. I do not.
Let's save anything Potter related to Potter because we will get to Potter. We are not leaving this stream without getting to.
But if I can ask, okay? If I can ask Couch a question.
About Havertz.
Guy in the chat.
Do you think Havertz had a worse game than Ziyech and Chilwell? Because the rest of the people get
no, I can't do that in good faith.
Probably not. But like I didn't get to give the scores for Ziyech or Chilwell. I'm just giving my scores. I gave Kepa a 0, just so you know. That's where I started this whole thing. So he was certainly not worse than Chilwell. He was certainly not worse than Ziyech, but overall, I expect a lot more from him. He's in a position where he's not only supposed to be creating chances, but taking them as well. And like he didn't have one shot on target. He had 39 touches all game. Like that's just not good enough. I'm sorry, it's not good enough.
No. And it's what you do with those touches as well, because you can have limited touches and still make an impact, and he just did not as well. We'll go from the original thing. So, Callie, you're up next. We're going to do only 2 subs because I feel that's only fair. So, I'm going to give you Mason Mount.
Am I coming in clear? Since Jen decided to lop off for... Yeah, no problem. Jen. All right, for Mount... Okay, so the 2 subs were Mount and Fofana, correct, other than Zakaria?
No, we did Fofana first, so we just got Mount and then Zakaria, but I'm giving you Mount. So.
Okay. It's a weird one, because did he play enough for me to warrant a fair score is the question. If I'm being honest, he was trash. Like, he was trash when he came on. But I want to know, am I giving him a fair score?
What minute?
I'm saying, am I giving him a fair score based on him being on? Because it's like he played, 30, 35 minutes?
Yeah, he got a yellow card as well.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just pretend that 30, 35 minutes was a full 90. That's a 3.
I think that's
yellow card.
Good enough. I think that's
It's like I'm just trying to find a way not to slaughter him. Let's be honest. It's a 3, man. Like he Like, let's be honest. Let's be really honest. Mount really hurts me. It's not like Havertz, where like I've only seen a Champions League winning goal from Havertz. Mount actually had seasons of brilliance, and I'm not saying brilliance like best player in the league type shit, but like there's always such a weird thing with Mount. It's like people are either fanboying, ready to. I'm gonna keep what I was about to say out of the chat, but essentially it's just like people cannot let Mount be average, and that's my issue. It's like let the boy be average, let him prove he can be a better player. That's up to him. But beyond that, keeping it simple, that boy gets a 3, man. Failing at progressing the ball down the final third. The thing we usually give Mount the best praise for is like his ability to track back, the PNP, the pace in the midfield, all that. It's like I don't know what's happened to Mount. Like it's starting to get worrying because it's like not only is it on him as a player, but it's like I can tell based on all managers I've seen Mount play under. I'm getting back into Potter. Mount gets a 3. We're done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because a
3. Wow.
Don, I'll give you. You there, Don?
Only because I said pretend that cameo was full money.
And I'll give you the last one because I don't think it's fair to rate Mudryk or Aubameyang.
Yeah.
I'll give you Zachary.
What can I say about him, man? 4. Just no one moved me yesterday, really.
Yeah.
Apart from Sterling in the up. Yeah.
No.
I'll say 4. I'm so numb, guys. I'm sorry. You're not gonna get an angry Don today. Like guys, I'm just so numb.
We don't need a big film script, man, for some of this. You know what I mean? It's just easy. Like you don't need to come in and just like go, yeah, we did this and that. Okay. So I think what everyone is waiting for. Declared it. I forgot what declared it.
Did you all read Big West?
Pick up, everyone.
So we're
it's
going
time.
to discuss.
We did Fofana score.
Yeah, we did.
That's what I'm saying. Did you all read Big West?
Yeah, we did.
Because me and Couch are waiting for Fofana prop here.
No, we did.
Okay, Fofana was arguably the best player with Sterling. It's either Sterling or Fofana if you really want to give a man of the match.
Yeah. I rated him. I rated him earlier. I said, did I give him a 6? I gave him a 6.
You gave him a 6.
Yeah.
You gave Sterling a 7 and Fofana a 6.
How
Yeah,
is
then
Sterling getting a 7 and Fofana
I downgraded Fofana.
He downgraded. He downgraded both of them. He pretty much said Sterling was the best player to him. Fofana was the second best.
Why
and then
can't
the scores matched.
I don't understand what's going on right now.
No, I'm telling you what he said. Like
Kelly was listening because you guys missed it. So yeah, now with Sterling, I said Sterling a 7, but then I brought him down a level. But Fofana, I gave him a 6. He was arguably could have been our best player. I think he was good. He was good yesterday. So yeah, I would say 6. But I can't give anyone more than that, man, because we lost. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So
I think it's fair. The next person we're going to talk to is probably going to be a long conversation. But let's not talk over each other because we all want our points in this. Declared, I'm going to let you go first because you haven't said anything.
5 minutes each.
This person.
Why? Why did you start with Declared?
Yes, Declared first. Declared.
I'm sorry. I was late. I was putting on my apron and my chef's hat on because this is a cookout. I mean, I'm like Dom. Like those goals went in and I almost didn't feel anything. His starting lineup. Where do you even start? Why? No one could have guessed it. I still don't know why he talked about all these players that need to get integrated, but he left them on the bench. Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do. He had so much faith in the players that he was about to sell as well in Ziyech.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I was actually happy with 4 in the back. I thought he was going to match him for free, and I thought we were going to get cooked like that. But still. I thought Aubameyang might play. His subs were actually worse. His subs, the point that he started bringing on Mount and Zachariah, it didn't make sense. You know, we were chasing a game. You bring a defensive midfielder on, and Mount was playing. Like it's ever since he started dropping Mount, right? He went from not doing subs late to ever since he started dropping Mount. Can't wait to get Mount back on. And that's what all of it feels like. It doesn't even feel like doesn't feel tactical or anything. I just got to get my boy on the field. But
to be honest, sorry, Declan. To be honest,
yeah,
in a freaking London derby, big London derby, I would have rather seen Mount in this game than probably half the players on the pitch, to be honest. And that's not saying that I think that he's a decent player. It's just, where's the passion? Like, who understands what this game means to us? Like, you seen him come on the pitch. He was frustrated. He's another one of the guys that I thought could have got a red. Like he was upset. And that's the kind of energy that I want to see on the pitch. If you're not going to win it, take the shit out of somebody, man.
Exactly, but the thing is though, Couch, yeah, like it all filters down from the manager. Like they are complacent at the moment. It doesn't matter if Mount started. Yes, we get it. He understands the rivalry, right? But everything's filtering down from the manager, and it's going down to the players now. So Mount wouldn't have saved us, regardless of him understanding the nature of this game. Like it's a big game, and Tottenham fans, it's like they felt sorry for us yesterday. A lot of them, from what I've seen, from what they've been saying. A few of them that I've spoken to, they're like not feeling sorry for us, but it's like the banter's not hitting. The banter's not hitting because we're literally in the mud.
I had one of my boys, Spurs fan, tell me he's never in his life, and he goes to the stadium frequently. Never in his life has he gotten to sing "Chelsea get battered" everywhere they go. Said he had tears in his eyes. We're giving fucking Tottenham fans fucking tears in their eyes for one win in the Prem. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's not even a good Spurs side either.
They weren't good at all yesterday.
They weren't good at all.
We should have battered them. We should have battered them. But again, it goes back to the lineup. Sorry, Couch, carry on, man. I'll come in when
I think it was declared. I cut off the clearance.
Yeah, I thought it was open market. But yeah, that's really you guys are hitting some of the points. I don't know. I think the interview bothered me the most afterwards. I think the interview actually bothered me the most when he brought up Arteta and Klopp, and I was trying to remember what he said. Oh yeah, me and the boys before the game watched All or Nothing, and Arteta in his second reign almost got sacked. But you see how he's doing now. Is this guy? Is this what he says to? I mean, is this what he sells to Bowley to really go? Hey, look at this.
By the way,
stick with me, and we're going to do this too.
By the way, I said this in the first part of this double screen, the one before it was cut off. I said I think that's the reason. I think I've got my reason why he doesn't like Aubameyang anymore. He's watched that documentary. I think he's got that. I think he's got it from there. That it is a documentary that made Aubameyang look bad. Although Aubameyang, did stuff there, but that's what I think.
He's trying to pull the Arteta 2.0. Bro.
Andrew, you know how that went, yeah? You know how the whole thing started. How he came back late on a trip.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And he must. And you know what? And he did that to Potter. I mean, he went on a trip for Potter. Like he must have told him. Potter's a nice guy. He goes, yeah, go on your trip. And now he watched that documentary. He goes, this guy's tricked me.
Bro, and then, he went to AC Milan. He went to Milan while we were in a fucking Champions League game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till my turn. You go.
Well, he's not in the Champions League squad.
See, look, declared. I don't know if you remember what I said a few weeks ago, right? Or like a couple weeks ago, I said about Potter insulting our intelligence with how he's speaking and the things he's saying where he's not taking any accountability. Yesterday, he made it seem like he's taking some sort of responsibility, but in the same breath, you're using an example which is completely out of context in contrast to the situation that you're in. Because Mikel Arteta actually won a trophy. He had some sort of style of play in bits. He just did not have the players to play how he wanted Arsenal to play going forward.
Done.
But when it got worse for Arsenal, he bought himself more time because of that trophy. That's one thing that he's forgetting. He's forgetting that. So, like Andrew said a few times, time is earned, not just given. I'm more than happy to be patient, right? But for the right person. And Potter is not the right man for this job. He's not the right man for this job. He's insulting our intelligence. How can you go out there and start using Mikel Arteta as an excuse? You're on the ropes.
Yeah, I was going to say, in general, he shouldn't even bring any manager's name in there. And to bring up some comparison.
But his fucking own.
Yeah, he should be talking about himself. But do you know how managers usually are wary about talking about other players? They don't even talk about other players, the other clubs and what's going on.
It comes from him being arrogant.
I just want to hang on. Sorry, I just want to break from something completely. I just want to bring up, Stephen Featley passed away today. He was the Arsenal fan. He had a YouTube, S Featley TV. Passed away, long battle with the liver issues and stuff like that. So we're just going to send out good thoughts to him and his family. He will be missed by the Arsenal community. I know Martinelli and the guys honoured him at the weekend after the goal. he will be missed. And thanks for bringing that up to attention there, Noah. I do appreciate that, and we respect and nothing but good thoughts on this day. It's sad for him and his family. But sorry to interrupt, but
I saw that.
It's important to do that because when you've been streaming with someone or something like that, I've streamed with him quite a few times, so it's one of those. He will be missed. So send only good thoughts there. No way, not an age, but 28 years old he was passed away, so not an age.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, man, that's sad.
And
that's
sorry to be mellow and do that. I do apologise. We will now return to our usual programming.
No, that's real, Andrew. That's real.
Yeah, no. So no, that's sad. I saw that news earlier. Yeah, so thoughts and prayers to his friends and family. But yeah, when it comes to Potter, right? I don't know if you guys remember with Brighton when they were going through that bad patch, and he pretty much came out and said, "You guys should be grateful with where we are right now because Brighton are not the type of club to be pushing for top 4, right?" And basically just shut up. Because remember they booed him when he came off the pitch. I can't remember what game it was, but he was going through a really rough patch with Brighton, and he came across so arrogant in that press conference, and it pissed off a lot of Brighton fans, of course, because we're overachieving, but have a bit of respect for the fans. Do you know what I mean? So with Potter, he's just coming across as arrogant. He's coming across as a know-it-all when he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. And again, it comes back to him insulting our intelligence. So for me, like I said, last week was my last straw. Now I'm just sitting back and waiting for the inevitable to happen because it is going to happen, right? I would never ask for Chelsea to lose the next 2 games. I would never do that. But I'm expecting a change to happen regardless of what happens.
You don't even need to ask, brother. You don't even need to ask.
Yeah,
it's gonna come.
I would never say I hope Chelsea lose. I would never say that, never. But
I don't think
something
you need
needs
to
to
ask.
happen, man.
I think it's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, because I'm gonna have to go back to work. Let me cook this. Let me face cam cook this, Rod, real quick, okay?
Here we go.
Let me tell you. Let me grab. As people know, I grab 3 jerseys all the fucking time. Conte in the UCL, 2021. Fucking Didier Drogba, 2012. And Hazard, fucking 2016, okay? I'm gonna do this with the goddamn Conte jersey. Uno momentito. I need to cook this, Rod. Just let me land, let me live, because I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, alright? Alright, Conte jersey, let's do this. Okay. My guy Potter, man like Graham Potter, listen, okay? Listen, let me chat to you guys. Let's stop the bullshit, okay? Beginning of the season, we had a talk. This is when I still thought Tuchel was going to be in charge, yeah? And I told you all, I said it's a long fucking season. We'd be lucky to get top 4 with an elite manager. We have literally proven, take the elite manager out the game, and my fucking comments were spot on. We went from maybe getting into the top 4 to now maybe getting into the top 12. Chelsea Football Club, for those who don't know, for those who like to say the history starts in 03, for all this dumb bullshit, yeah. Numero uno, every club gets relegated at least once. Every club gets relegated at least once, so that's not a good argument to beat people's heads up over. The second one is, we've been getting consistent top 6 long before fucking Abramovich even bought the club. We had standards. We got FA Cup wins. We had won the Premier Division one time before any of this shit. We had standards, people, is what I'm trying to get across. Gus Hiddink would be ashamed of this shit. Villas-Boas would be ashamed of this shit. Scolari would be ashamed of this shit. Frank Lampard looks like God next to this man. We need to have serious discussions. Chelsea are sinking. We are in relegation form, 2-17 in all competitions, 9 losses, 10 losses including the Champions League. Chelsea Football Club, people. It's unacceptable. It's very simple. I don't need to go on. I want y'all to cook him Potter out. This isn't about being reactionary. I want a long-term manager. But I know he's not the one. Not even think, I know he's not the one. Potter out. Bless up, Conte. You're the reason we got this Champions League. That's all.
Let me.
I don't think.
Hang on, Couch. I just want to address this message. Let me just address this. You obviously don't know your Arsenal history. They were relegated. They bought themselves back into the league and were banked by the Bank of England. So they were actually the first team to buy a championship. Learn the history of the Arsenal. Go on, Couch.
Yeah, I don't even think that he's arrogant. I don't think that that's what it is. He doesn't strike me as a manager that or a personality type that has arrogance attached to him. I think what we're seeing with him right now is he's just backed into a corner and he's fighting for himself. He's like he's using his arrogance to show that he's like, oh well, look at our, like the guy came out in his press conference after having, a week where he's having some serious talks with the board and whatnot, came on his press conference, big London derby too. Like let's not forget. Yeah. And this guy's like talking, oh, well, I just came out of a crisis meeting. Sorry, I'm late. Joking about that.
Yeah, and then he goes into this threats thing. So he goes from one spectrum to the other, joking about crisis meeting, then goes into the threats thing. If you believe they're real, that's fine. I do believe that's fine. People just this day and age, people are crazy. They'll send anything. But if you didn't see it whole, you would think it was from two different press conferences. Yeah. The way he was joking about the crisis meeting, like 10 minutes later, he's talking about how it's affecting him and his family and stuff like that. It's just a confusing.
I kid you not.
It's just confusing.
I just don't think that it has anything to do with arrogance. It has everything to do with this guy is just in his defensive posture right now. He's camped down and he's bunkered down and he's trying to defend himself, however best he can do that. So whatever, that's besides the point. Like I did my stream last night and I couldn't even really gumption up the energy to really just get what I wanted to say out about this guy. Like, it's just crazy. The fact
rinse and repeat, isn't it? It's nothing.
It's the same thing every week, week. In-game management poor. Selections poor. The reaction. You come out of the dressing room after 0-0 in a London derby. You should be galvanized by that. You should be invigorating the squad to be like, yes, man. Okay, let's get out there and give them everything now. You know what I mean? And
40 seconds.
You come out. What was it? Oh, not even a minute into the game.
It's like 40 seconds. It's 40 seconds to a minute.
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but like whatever it is, like how are you? What are you saying to these guys in the locker room? Like every time we have a good spell of games, a good spell of minutes, like they come back out looking demotivated. Like that to me is crazy. It's just crazy. You know what I mean?
The thing for me is, like, the funny thing right now with the fan base is, I think some of us who are willing, I think the four of us up there who are willing to give him time, we were a little bit more patient. I think he lost a lot of us on that Southampton game. And then you have, I'm trying to think like him, right? You're coming from Brighton. You're just used to playing one game a week. You have a whole week to, like, tactically prepare for your next Premier League game. He literally had an entire week with a full squad bar probably Kante to tactically prepare for this game. You were out-coached, as Couch said, I think, yesterday. You were out-coached twice in 2 consecutive weeks by caretaker managers. People who are not, I don't even think they have their coaching badges. And we did not even go there and played well and just sit here like the Dortmund game and be like, we were just unlucky not to win, right? We fully deserve to be beaten by Southampton, a 20th team, and by Tottenham, who are not really good. And the funny thing, even the fan base, the feeling in the fan base right now, even yesterday when we lost to one of our biggest rivals, right? We weren't even angry. That's the thing. It's sort of like apathy. We are expecting it now. You go 100%. To a game and you're literally expecting to lose. We have no connection to this manager, to this team.
Yeah.
Literally, you go in there. We are not angry no more. Even look at us like we want to cook him, but look at us, the 7 of us sitting here. You're not even. We keep on repeating the same things every time.
Yep.
Like when a new manager comes into a new club, right? What are the feelings you get? Like those 5 stages of grief. You start like you're super excited, and then you're like, okay, after excitement, I'm gonna give him patience, and then after like that manager bounce and some few results don't go your way, there's a little bit of frustration. And then there starts to be anger towards the manager and some of the players. And then now I think we're at that stage of apathy. And if Bolly and Co don't...
Sorry.
You wanted to say something?
I just think, also, I think we're desensitized now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you're like, when you watch something or shown something or something keeps happening to you, you have a less and less of a reaction. Like I said to Jem like earlier, we could have just replayed his video from last week, and every time he said Southampton just replaced with Tottenham or like a Tottenham player or something like that. You're right, but you continue.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I feel that, and I think that's even bad for the club when the fans are so desensitized from you. It has gotten to a point that we don't really care, and that's not really good. We don't give a fuck about this team because every time you go into a game, like some of us who are like hopeful, and I'm really stupid. Some of us who are hopeful yesterday, like, how can we get battered by 20th team Southampton and they literally thought that we were gonna win yesterday? Like, how stupid was that?
And they're still bottom after beating us, by the way. They're still bottom of the league after beating us, Nomadic. Just on that, like, you make a good point there, Nomadic. So I'll let you carry on. Just a quick one. The irony is actually mad in the situation that we're in, because after January and the window that we had, we've never seen a window like that at Chelsea, let alone in the Premier League, right? We all kind of looked at that and saw a light at the end of the tunnel, and we were hoping that, okay, let's see what this guy can do now. He's actually got some players. He's got players coming back as well, right? But now we're not seeing no light at the end of the tunnel whilst Graham Potter's here, and we've got all the tools that are available. So it's a mad situation that we've got ourselves in, because I can't even look at the players anymore the way I was before, because there's more players coming back, like I said, and we've got new players, right? Your job as a manager, number one, is to be able to work with what you've got to an extent and to be able to improve people individually. This guy has not improved a single person since he's been at this club. Look, I always compare it to Ten Hag, because Ten Hag is I would love this guy at Chelsea, right? And how he's gone in there and improved players like Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford after the season he had last season. Wan-Bissaka, who was basically on the chopping board and ready to leave. And now he arguably needs to start ahead of Dalot, because if you guys saw what happened to Dalot yesterday against Saint Maximum, that was mad. And Wan-Bissaka came on and he shut it down. So for me, everything that he's meant to be doing, all these tick boxes, Ten Hag, he's come in there. He's got rid of the Ronaldo situation. He's individually improved teams. He's now gonna won a trophy as well. On top of that, Graham Potter, what boxes has he ticked? When you look at a manager and you think of all the boxes they need to tick, he hasn't improved anyone individually. We're not performing better. We're not getting results. We've spent all this money. He's ticking that, right? And there's just nothing. I'm not seeing a light at the end of the tunnel with Graham Potter, which is mad, because I'm sure in January, after the window that we had, we were all looking at it with optimism. Because when you compare us to Liverpool, right? Liverpool were in the dumps because they didn't spend any money, right? Well, they spent money on Gakpo, sorry, but they didn't spend any money on any midfielders that they needed, right? And of course, they've got the ownership that they've got. They saw no light at the end of the tunnel. We saw all the light. Now it's just dim. It's bleak. There's no light with this guy in charge. Sorry, Nomadic, you can carry on, but that's what I wanted to mention there, just on that point.
Before Nomadic goes ahead,
that's fine.
Just quick response to Bobby. I know Bobby's critical of the ownership and everything like that, and it's fair to do so. I think the rebuild, I can only judge a rebuild when I've got the right foreman in terms of the manager, right? I think I need a when I get a proper manager, a decent manager who's used to something like this, I can judge the rebuild properly. I can't judge the rebuild because the guy we've got in charge leading a rebuild, it's like you're trying to put Lewis Hamilton, in a dodgy car or something like that. This guy, or vice versa, you're trying to get like Wario to drive Lewis Hamilton's F1 car. You know what I mean? Or Bowser or something like that. Or some guy. It's just like that. It's just I can't. It might be. You might see it as a cop out, but I don't think it's fair to judge the rebuild when this guy's incompetent at leading this rebuild, and we've seen it. We can't judge it. I'll go back to you, Nomadic. Go on. You finish what you were going to say.
No, I just wanted to, from what Don said, like, the news today just came out, and he was like, Potter is saying that he has a big squad, and he doesn't want to work with
it. Woe was me. You have every manager's dream job. My bad. Sorry for interrupting.
No, the thing is, it's fine. You can. The thing is, yes, I agree. You have a big squad, right? But however, you need to find a settled team and stick to it. That's the one thing that is pissing me off with him. He keeps chopping and changing players who don't even want to
100%.
be there.
Yeah.
'Play
100%.
Madueke, play Mudrik over Ziyech, play Badiashile and Fofana.
Yeah.
Let them build a bond. They're going to be our next centre back pairing for the next 5-7 years.
Yep.
Essentially
Players who
what
aren't.
you're saying, essentially what you're saying, Nomadic, is look towards next season. Start putting the building blocks in for next season. Like nobody's asking you to, reinvent the wheel and try and get top 4 right now. Just show us that they have the foundation and the building blocks to take us forward to next season. And he's not even doing that. The thing that's pissing me off too is like he's complaining about like, oh, I don't have time, I have too big of a squad. The man gave these guys 3 days off last week. 3 days off, and then could not coax a performance out of them on the weekend.
Yeah.
That is damning. If you're gonna give them 3 days off, you better hope like hell that the performance you get is like exemplary.
Couch, please re-emphasize that point.
20
2
minutes.
and 16.
20 minutes from
2
these
and
guys.
16.
Okay,
and you're giving players 3 days off.
And that was
Ten Hag
right?
said they're going to be back in training today. United are back in training today, and they just won a trophy yesterday. It's madness.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he keeps on complaining about my squad is big, which I understand. You've been dealt a bad hand. Your squad is big, right? But now, since this ownership has given you so much confidence, any other team in this league, you'd have been sacked. Even if it was 20th place Southampton, you'd have been sacked, right?
Yeah.
Start looking forward into next season. Players who aren't playing can't complain if the team is winning. You look like an idiot right now. However, if you keep losing, like, it doesn't make sense. He just needs to find a team and a formation that allows us to win and stick to it right now. Go back to a back 5 or something.
Yeah.
You can't keep playing Ziyech. You can't keep playing Havertz.
Yeah.
What is he saying to these players that he's making changes every time, and then you're dropping Badiashile when he's building a very good partnership with Thiago? Like, you keep on changing and chopping every time, and I get it. Like, Enzo needs a DM to sit there so that we can see the best of Enzo, right? But ever since Enzo came in, the first game against Fulham, Enzo played with Gallagher. Then I think he played with Ariel C next. Then he's played with Cover. Then yesterday he played with Zachariah. How is Enzo supposed to build something until the end of the season before we go get a proper DM for us to find some sort of rhythm, or until Kante is back? You keep giving him different partners every game. Like, you can choose from whoever we have right now, RLC, Zachariah, Kova, or whoever. Can't you find whoever is slightly more suitable with him and just stick to that? Like, that's what pisses me off with him. Yes, the squad is big, but literally just find the pieces because now you literally have a fit squad, bar probably Silva yesterday and Kante. So find whoever you want to work with and do that. And for fuck's sake, what has he done with Rhys James? One of the best attacking fullbacks right there. And literally, Rhys looks a shell of himself.
Yeah.
That's the thing that is pissing me off. What has he done with James? I understand Enzo is getting out because he doesn't have a proper partner there. But what is he doing with Rhys? That is really pissing me off. Someone can go on before I come back.
All right.
Man.
I mean, showtime declared.
Yeah, thank you. It's showtime. I appreciate it. I mean, you guys are on point when it comes to Mr. Potter there. I mean, for one thing, I think he's out right now for a sympathy party and telling us about the death threats and telling us about Arteta and Klopp and all these excuses. Where I figured this is not a way for the death threats to stop. I think they're just going to increase. It's not. I mean, there's nothing you can do now. People are upset, especially when you use a derby like this. It seems that this club is too big for him. I think this is exactly what is expected from a Brighton coach or a Brighton team. But he is fair to realize this is not Brighton. This is Chelsea. I mean, he can't seem to get anything right. His selections are piss poor. I think at the end of the day, I'm starting to feel like the owners are telling him who exactly he should play and who he should not play, because I don't know how Badiashile does not make the team.
So why would he not play Badiashile then? That doesn't make any sense.
But I mean, Koulibaly may be on the chopping block, so do you try to get some value from him, get him play and get some offers in for the summer? I mean, you never know. I mean, for him right now, I just think that he is too overwhelmed with this job. I think just it's too much for him. It's like every week in and out. Everybody's saying the same thing about him. Potter out, Potter out. He's tactically clueless. He doesn't know what he's doing. For me, guys, it seems like we're playing the same way that we played under Tuchel. Straight to the wing backs and let them drive. Reece James, Chilwell, take the ball up. We play same way. It's just he just doesn't know how to get to light some fire in there behind to motivate them to be better. He's on the touchline. He's on the touchline being quiet. He's not giving them no seam to motivation. Couch said it. You go in at halftime, you come back out, and they play worse than how they started. I mean, I don't know what is going on with that team. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's just too overwhelming. I'm a Roman Chelsea man. I was here when Roman came, and I'm a spoiled brat, and I like to admit that. This is not what I am expecting.
By the way, it's not this term spoiled brat. I really hate. It's not that. It's about the standards that you have been in as your club. And even before that, winning cups was sort of papering over cracks of what we were doing in the league for the last 5 years, which wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. So, I hate the term spoiled brat. Like we're some sweet.
Like we were meant to have them achievements in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that.
It's like.
But look, I'm not mad at us. Look, I understand we weren't competing for the league. I understand, but the still competitive spirit that we were in to fight for domestic cups, Champions League, we were still fighting. Right now we're not in nothing. We're at like one of the least favorite teams to watch. Yesterday's match alone, I don't know how interested you guys were, but once I've noticed that we didn't look like we were gonna win, or it didn't look like it was gonna be a draw or something, it just took interest away. And that's what I mean. Like,
I know Chelsea fans that went in yesterday, like Lewis and Fata and stuff like that. They told me people were leaving even before the second goal went in. So they were leaving him before that, and then a whole more left after the second goal. That you know what? That just says it all, really. That they're not even the hardcore.
When have we ever done a petition for a manager to get out?
But what I'm saying is that
well, that's happened many times.
I'll let you go after this.
I don't remember.
Like, when is it that tells me that even they are just so like defeated that they can't even. It's not like when Sarri was there and we told Sarri to F off after we won at Cardiff. They can't even bother to do that. That's how bad we are. How bad we're playing.
15-16 wasn't that bad.
Hassan, just before you go in, because
I'm not good.
Just before you go in, bro, because Nomadic made a good point about the amount of players that he's got, and the PR today has come out to say he's got a big squad. It's hard for him to have put like training together and put all his methods together, things like that, right? Which is just whatever now, because it's just excuse after excuse, right? For me, Graham Potter is just not brave enough. Okay, you have got all the backing that you need from the owners. They've publicly come out and constantly said on more than one occasion, we are backing this man. They don't expect you to get top 4, which is made very clear from the beginning, but they would still ideally like for you to push for top 4 and hopefully have a good run in the Champions League. Why are you making decisions that are not brave and are the complete opposite of the backing you've got from the owners? If the owners were forcing you, like the Glazers were forcing Ollie and whatnot to play Harry Maguire because of how much they spent on him, that's a completely different story. But the owners are literally saying, look, we are backing you. We believe in you. He's not believing in himself. He's doing the complete opposite of the control and power he's got from above. Obviously, he hasn't got all the power in the world, but they look at him as a long-term manager and he's going to be the long-term solution. But what he's doing right now is, I don't know if I should do that. I'm going to upset this guy. Fuck that. You need to go with your strongest 11. You need to get results and you need to get performances. And the owners are backing you. So he's not, like I said, it's self-sabotage at this point. It's literally self-sabotage. So for me, he's just not brave enough. He's just not brave.
If the owners brought
when we had injuries, though, I was just going to say that when we had injuries, he was complaining about we didn't have players. Now he's going to complain that he's got too many.
Now he's got too many. So what's going to be next? We can't.
I'll tell you this. I just want to say the guy after this job, he's going to move into politics. That's what he's going to move into. He's just got the mad excuse. He's just excuse after excuse. Even the death threats. I didn't like the timing of that. No one condones death threats, but this guy just used it like a tool to when he was under pressure. He's getting very desperate, and I don't like it. I just think he doesn't want to be here too.
And,
I mean, that's the only conclusion for me.
A lot of top tier managers would have this sort of headache of having too many players because it gives them tactical options. It gives them any top manager would love this sort of headache, but I don't know why he's using it against himself. Like, got too many players, gotta try to keep them all happy and stuff. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I know that look, abuse and death threats are wrong, full stop, right? But let's all be honest. Potter knew what he was walking into the minute he stepped in. Well, way before he stepped in, he knew what kind of job it was. He knew how tough it was, and he knew how toxic our fan base is. And he knows how toxic he will get if he starts losing the way he did. And I just find it kind of weird that he is pulling these types of excuses and using them as a tool. And
my thing is, if you my thing is, if we hired a mental health coach, I mean, that's somebody you should talk to before you talk to the media about your death threats and stuff like that. I think that's why they were hired. That's why that mental health coach was hired for him specifically, because he's mentally needs that stability. He needs somebody to talk to, and that's somebody you should be talking to.
I just think
talking to the police.
I think, yeah. Well, apparently that's going to be. They announced it's going to be investigated, but I would just say this: it's like, but you. Actually, remember last week? It's like Matt Law's come out with something today about he's got like two. Apparently, the owners are looking at the next 2 games. What the previous 18 were good enough for you or something like that. Yeah. And then last week when remember last week at Southampton? Oh, we played better in the second half. But that's what That's what he's telling these guys. He's telling these guys they played well. And we know the players of today aren't like the players of even 10 years ago, right? They're just not. They want to be coddled. They want to be, everything done for them and stuff like that, which is fine. But then you've got to show it on the pitch. And it's just the time when you just go, what is this guy saying to them? Like, exactly like Couch said, half time, what is he saying to them? What is he saying to them?
I looked at him yesterday.
If he was a top manager, we wouldn't need the winning mentality coach or whatever he's called. What is he called? The New Zealand hacker guy.
Yeah, Ancelotti before I go to Matic, Ancelotti last week came out and said, what did you say to guys at half time? He said, I said nothing. They just knew what they had to do. Yeah. That's Ancelotti, bro. And even he gets criticised. He's been criticised by Madrid fans this season. They want him out, some of them. But go on, Matic. Go on.
No, I just wanted to ask. The funny thing is, like, I have a statement, but I want to see what we are how many? 8 of us think. Right. Do you, when you look at those players as a question, do you think they have downed tools on him?
100%. As I said that long time ago too.
100%. Not all of them, but 100%.
I would say it's a bit of that.
It's probably months ago that I said
not being coached. I would say it's a bit of that as well as not being coached and clearly just not knowing what you're doing on the pitch. Just not knowing what your job is on the pitch.
A lot of the characteristics was not only playing well, but the fact that he stuck to some players like Mount Havertz. When you start to lose the dressing room, even though some of the players are playing bad, you only play the players you trust, and that's what he was doing, right? And that's why he changed it up a lot, but he still stuck to the same players. He didn't drop players because he started. That was after. That was before the World Cup.
There's nothing you can do now.
You guys see him on the
sabotage you.
But he drops Kova and he drops Chalobah and he drops Kova. That makes sense. I don't know what he's thinking.
Nomadic, did you see Graham Potter's face in the last few minutes of the game? The guy looked like, when you're watching boxing and the guy's on the ropes and he's literally fighting, waiting for the bell to ring. Yeah, that was literally Potter yesterday. Like, he looked like a man. Just lost, had no idea what he's doing.
Deflated.
He just looked terrified on the side. And week by week, it's getting worse, his facial expression. So for me, inside, I'm like, look, these are signs of a manager who's on the ropes and is about to get sacked from this job. So again, the inevitable is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. It's a matter of when.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong to say, correct me if I'm wrong, that they really haven't, majority of them, if not all, they really haven't down tools on him. They're friends. They find him friendly. Yeah, they like him.
Yes,
but they don't respect him. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was Don or
They
Kali who
respect him
said
as a friend
earlier.
and not as a manager. Because let's be honest, they
Yes,
wouldn't
that's what
have
I'm
lost
trying
one
to
name.
say. I don't know if you all boys agree with me. Like, I think that they haven't done tools on him. They like him as a friend. They think he's a very good lad, and you can tell he's not like as a manager, but as a person, he's a good person. He like no one has ever said anything bad about him. But as a coach, I don't think he's tactically inept for Chelsea. But I think like they find him friendly, they find he's like nice, but they don't respect him. I don't know which one of you,
But
either Don or Kali, who said like
I always say
yesterday, yesterday, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, I was
The Man
interrupted.
United game,
Yeah.
when Ten Hag hooked the law, right? At halftime.
Yeah.
And brought on Bissaka. And at the end of the game, when they won, you could see the law going to Ten Hag, hugging and being happy and everything. Like, there's sort of like that respect there for the manager. There's like, if I do something wrong, I'm going to get hooked, but I have to respect him. I have to do this for him, right? But I don't feel like there is that with Potter. They're so friendly. They have not done tools on him. They like him, but they don't respect him. Am I wrong to think that?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I've been saying for the last few weeks, this guy gives off a camp counselor,
supply teacher vibes. That's what it is. When you have a supply teacher
he runs after school clubs. Everyone's cool. Let's write in our dream journals and go in our poetry circle and stuff like that. That's what he gives off. He gives off that vibe. And you're right. When players, it's in every aspect of life. When a manager starts to do that and tries to like see you as equals in terms of, you know, and not like set a boundary of like, I want this, I want that, don't take the piss. Do you know what I mean? Then you're never going to get that back. That's why like Ten Hag came in after 2 games. Harry Maguire, I don't care how much you cost, and your captain, you're benched. Ronaldo, you're one of the best players ever of all time, but you don't suit this club anymore. Out. Like you say, the low, stuff like that. It's just you need, and like someone said it, and I've said it before, he's the most backed Chelsea manager since I've been supporting this club. You should have the biggest balls ever to go there and lay what you want to do down. But I think that's just him and his personality. I think that's just him. He wants to do, and that's why in Brighton when he went on losing runs. Remember, look at De Zerbi when he's coming in. He talks about Caicedo. He told Caicedo to go away until the transfer window ended. I don't want you here until the transfer window is ended. Even if you stay or go, you're gone. Look what he said about Trossard. Look what he said about Trossard.
Andrew, for anyone buying that PR today that they've come out with about our squad being big, right? Yeah. Anyone buying that, right? It's the equivalent of this. Imagine someone opens a restaurant, right? And then you give the chef all these new knives to use, top of the range knives to use, yeah? And the guy keeps burning the food. He keeps messing up in the kitchen. And every time you're tasting the food, you're like, oh, why is the food just so shit? Like, why is the quality of food not nice? Oh, the knives are too sharp. Oh, the knife just, you know, I don't know how to use the knife properly. It's a bit too sharp. You're just using excuses that just aren't warranted. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just it's ridiculous, man.
Maybe a better analogy is like, you've opened a 5-star restaurant, but you know what? You've just hired the guy who got fired from McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? Stuff
literally.
Like
they're on pie and mash.
That's what you've done.
I love my analogies because I'm always trying to break it down to people that still want to defend him or want to, you know, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. You have to break it down to people like this because that's all secondary, man.
The excuses for you guys wanting to call out, if you had the same parameters now, Potter would be straight out the window, straight out the door after 10 games. Exactly.
That's exactly. Keep going. You do it. You're already landing. Land that.
I understand.
No, because I was told a season ago when he was inherited a £300 million squad that any manager should get top 4. Any manager. And they were saying that Lampard should get top 4 when he was barely out top 4, Tuchel at that time. Yeah. So you're right. If any manager should get top 4, then Potter should. And let's be honest, he was only 4 points away when he came in. He wasn't like 10 points away the way Tuchel was.
No, you're absolutely right. And
You've got someone here in the comments, Park Lane Yid. Chelsea fans are just a bunch of spoiled brats. Give Potter a pre-season.
Oh,
This guy does not. He does not deserve a
when someone
pre-season.
said
He
that
does
to
not
me
deserve a
yesterday, right?
pre-season after
Let
what
me
he's
get
done.
All I had to do was
You know
do a
what? You know what it
profile
is.
clip.
You know what it is. You can always tell when the manager at your club's not doing well. When rivals start to say, "Oh, keep him in the job." Like we did it with Oli. Andrew said it earlier.
We did it, Arteta.
We did it with Oli. We did it with Arteta. Keep him there. So when rivals are saying keep him there, but then in the next breath it's like, oh, just give the guy time. You're being disingenuous because you know he's not doing a good job. You know he's not doing a good job.
And you
Can I
always
just grab
notice,
the
No, you know what they're
real quick?
doing, Don.
you always notice
We done
that
it. You said we done it.
you always notice it's from fans whose clubs are not successful. Let's say with spoiled brats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or have only been successful in the last 5 years or something like that. Spoiled brats. You will never know. You will never know what it's like to be a Chelsea fan and the success we've had because Spurs are allergic to this success. Okay, they just are allergic. You've got a big toilet bowl stadium, yeah, and that's good for you. You're only known for your stadium now. You're not known for anything else. Okay, let me just read out the super chat and I'll let you go. I'll let whoever wants to speak next. President Jafar, a bad workman always blames their tools. Yes, exactly. They always blame their tools. It's never on them.
Yep.
It's never ownership.
Perfect.
It's never on there whatsoever. It's always someone else's fault. Oh, we were watching a documentary. Why didn't you watch how you played the last game? Yeah, instead of watching documentaries. How about that?
Plenty of time. Yeah, plenty of time off, Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. Could have watched the whole. Yeah, could have watched.
Are you boys tired of him constantly? And you know, I've never been one of those people who. I'm one of the few people who actually listens to his press conferences.
Good.
But are you boys ever tired of how he keep referencing other teams? And why do you keep referencing Arsenal every time? Of all teams, why do you keep referencing London teams? We are literally the only London team that has won European trophies, has literally seen us win everything. Why do you keep referencing a team that in their super rebuild that they're doing right now have only won an FA Cup? And if Pulisic wouldn't have gotten injured and wouldn't have gotten a crap referee, would have probably won that game. Yes, I'm salty. But why does he keep referencing Arsenal every 2 minutes?
He's on the ropes. He's on the ropes.
That's what the Potter fans used to do. That was his only defense. Before that Southampton game, before people turned, everyone saw what happened at Arsenal and thought, oh yeah, well, we'll just give him time and it's going to happen. Yeah. No one said the same thing when Lampard was on when he went on his leave. No one said before Arteta did it. No one said, "I'll just give Lampard time," because it's going to happen. Yeah. It was everyone saw Arsenal and said, "Well, now they're winning. Let's do that and just give him time." And now the irony is that he himself is using the same excuse. And it's that's why it's so comical. That's why I started watching his interviews, and that's why I've been saying that he's been treating the fans like they're idiots.
Do you know what's funny, Declared? Like, I've seen a few Arsenal pages on Twitter come up on my TL, right? And they are getting onto Potter for making those comments because they're basically saying it's not comparable. So I'm glad that some Arsenal fans are actually coming out and speaking sense because it's not comparable. You can't just blindly give this time because Mikel Arteta had time. I was saying that at the beginning. I did say to an extent you can use Mikel because it was a bit earlier and he had X amount of injuries, right? But as of January, like I said, there is no excuses whatsoever at all. I'm not hearing anything. Your job is
money-wise too, Don. Around the numbers, like this money that he spent, right, in the 3.5 years, is Arteta only spent 430, I think it was, million all up, in his whole time here, and they spent quite a bit, and we did that in one season.
Yeah.
So
it's not comparable. You can't use that.
Yeah, you got a fast track. Yeah, you can't use that one. You got a fast track.
Give a elite coach this squad, bro. They compete for all the finals.
FA Cup. Arteta, if it wasn't for the FA Cup, he would have been sacked.
And you get with those wins, you get a little bit more buy-in and a little bit more time, right? Yep. If he was winning, if we were not drawing and losing at the rate at which we are, he would be getting a little bit more buy-in and people would be like, okay, let's give him a preseason, right? Let's see the first half of next season and see where he goes from there. If he was getting a little bit more of this, and the funny thing, majority of this fan base, yes, there are people who didn't rate him, but a good number of this fan base were willing to give him time people are like, okay, we get it. We may not finish top 4, but let us see, like,
included.
let us play well. You know, let us see those patterns of play. Let us do this. Like, build up to next season. People were actually willing to give him time.
Exactly.
That's pardon?
Yeah.
And the Matic.
I was going to say that's why I turned early because. Yeah, I was quickly, like the points you brought up, the build up. See, Arteta before he won that the trophy, I saw he came in. He didn't get to play the way he wants to play, so he played very defensive and on the counter just to try to get some results, right? But he wanted to control that dressing room, right? And that's what he tried to do. Got his trophy, got a bit of time, and then with that time, he straight away instilled the way he wants to play, the players that he need. Try to get control. Like, there's a build with time. It's not I'm gonna put a pan on the oven, turn it on, and something's gonna cook. No, there's a whole building process, right? You gotta make a recipe. There's building blocks and process to getting what between the time. Well, Potter was meant to come in, take control of his dressing room, find his first, his best 11, right, and play the way he wants to play. Then whatever was missing in that puzzle, right. That's what happens next season. That's what he was meant to do. He's 5 months in the job and he still hasn't done that.
Declared.
And he has not taken one accountability ever.
You know what's also annoying me about the quotes that have come out today about the big squad, right? And why I'm not hearing it is because this week Jorginho came out and pretty much said, Chelsea told me I'm not in their plans. Chelsea told me that it's basically time to move on, right? Now you're complaining about this big squad that you've got, but that squad is going to be trimmed down in the summer. Right, so what you need to be doing this half of the season is, like the Matic said, preparing for next season, because we can't just say this it's a free hit now. Just do what you want. Don't get top 4. Don't even try to get top 4. Play better football, bro, and try to get something out of this. So when we go into next season, we've already started a process, right?
Hold on.
Let me just finish. Let me just finish, bro. With the big squad, like I said, there's so many players in this team who know they're not gonna be here next year. So be fucking brave, Graham. Be brave and make these bold decisions. He can't do it. He can't do it, man. I'm just saying the same thing.
To add to your point, I don't get why people are saying wait till preseason to give him a preseason. This is your preseason. This is the best preseason you can get. Don't worry about those exhibition games. The preseason is about fitness, right? And usually you have international tournaments, players come back. Don't worry about preseason. That's all about fitness. Right now is your preseason. Whatever you planned on doing preseason, you do now, right? And you plan your team out. This is the time you do it when you're going to verse proper teams, not wait till the exhibition games.
Hold on. This is the three things. Oh no, ladies first. Go.
No, the thing that I'm not even angry at him no more. I'm super disappointed because he's making a fuss of how much the owners are backing him. He had an opportunity to tailor the future of this club, and he didn't have the bottle to do it. He's never stamped his authority on this team. Literally, you have been given an opportunity in history to tailor make this team to your image, right? The owners are backing you, buying new expensive toys every time for you to play with. He doesn't deserve new toys in the summer. Like with what he's shown me right now, he doesn't deserve a new DM. He doesn't deserve a new striker. He doesn't deserve a new goalkeeper. You don't deserve new toys when we're giving you 100 million midfielder, 80 million winger. And what are you doing with them? You're keeping them on the bench. What is
misbehaving? He's misbehaving. Why should he be? Why should
you
be
literally
treated
had £100 million worth of wingers on the bench, but that pissed me off. I don't understand what is this experiment which we keep on doing and it has proved not to be working. What is this Mount experiment on the wing? He should be fighting for a place in the midfield. Why are you putting him on the wing while you have wingers, £100 million of new wingers there? With Tottenham being such a big stadium, Mudryk would have had an easy walk to try and do that there. It's not like a small pitch like Stamford Bridge. I'm mad. Continue.
But this is hold on. This is what I'm trying to say.
I just want to say something. There's 361 on both channels there. The likes are both very low on each channel. It's like 200 plus on Chelsea Fan TV. It's under 100 likes. Let's get this
smash them likes, people. Is our paying not enough?
Smash the like buttons, and also just to start it, because I don't want to forget, super chat from Denishan. If Mikel had this squad, he will be in top 4.
These are the 3 points I'm about to get to, because I'm tired of. I keep hearing it. I've been quiet. I wanted to see what people wanted to say. And I'm not saying anybody's saying anything wrong. Proper cook session. The issue is this. I keep hearing the defenders, because there are still some defenders in the chat for Potter. Madness, ain't it? They're saying,
they're just rival fans.
No, of course. They're saying, Potter has had squad issues because he has too big of a squad. Potter hasn't had a preseason. Potter is going to be on the Mikel Arteta, the Klopp. Some even say the De Zerbi track. But why are you bringing up De Zerbi if... Never mind. Well, that's a conversation for another day. What I'm trying to say is this. How can you sit here and say this is a process if there is no process? And this is what for the manager. Clearly, the club are trying to do a new ethos. And this is why I feel bad. People are saying Chelsea fans are spoiled. No, we're put in a rock and a hard place. We have to choose between actually wanting a proper rebuild where we don't sack and hire and fire managers. And we also do know, because Chelsea fans are not stupid, we watch our club every fucking game, this manager isn't good enough. So what are we supposed to do? What are Chelsea fans supposed to do? Are we supposed to back a manager while we watch Arsenal possibly pick up a Prem this year, and they will compete for it next year? Make no mistake about it. So while our biggest London rival, because Spurs don't win shit, our biggest London rival, because QPR are in fucking Division 2, our biggest fucking rival is going to pick up trophies in our face. And we're not going to do fuck all about it? We're going to rock up to the Emirates and give them another 3 points? Guys, at some point in time, I say this all the time, people switch their major. Think of it like education or uni. Some people go in thinking they want to be a fucking doctor. Then you fail those first 3 biochem tests and you're like, fuck me, I'm not going to be a doctor no more. Does that mean, you quit on the process? Or are you making a logical realization that it's not your strength and it's not something you want to do? Therefore, you should be in a process or do something better to improve the process. We need to improve the process. We've already sacked a bunch of fucking players. We've already sacked a bunch of managers. We sacked our ownership, not even by choice. So at this point in time, we look at present. Let's take all the bullshit out, the Tuchel shit, all the shit out. Let's look at present, February 27th, 2023. We are languishing in 10th, tied with Aston Villa. We have negative goal differential. Tuchel has won 35% of our league points. At what point in time do people wake up and smell the coffee? Andrew, Couch, the 2 gents to my left, no, that way. They were the ones telling me calm the fuck down when he got appointed. And I respect them because both of those 2 men came on here and admitted they were fucking wrong. They were fucking wrong. Because you know why? They saw enough evidence. That Southampton game alone we shouldn't even be talking after the Southampton game. Then you follow up the Couch. Oh my God, thank God you said this. You follow up the Southampton game. Obviously players get a day off after Sunday. That's customary. You give them 2 extra days off and don't score a single goal at a stadium. We've scored a goal every single time we've appeared. And I leave it with this, and because I don't want to take up time. Tuchel got sacked, not for footballing decisions, but people said he deserved to be sacked for footballing decisions. I was told Tuchel could not coach an attack. I told Tuchel was the problem for the attack. I was told Tuchel was the problem why we weren't scoring enough goals. We have now revamped that attack 2 times over with 2 sets of wingers. We have put one of the most creative midfielders on God's given earth that won a World Cup. And let me be very honest with you people. Lionel Messi doesn't lift that World Cup without Enzo Fernandez, Julian Alvarez, and McAllister. And that's a fact. How do you bring so many of these talented players to Chelsea and they all decide to take a shit? And this is the thing. When Tuchel was here, that wasn't happening. All the new incoming players weren't just dropping a bollocks. But with Potter, I'm seeing every player we get turn into shit. There's a saying, guys, and I leave it with this. When 2 or 3 players are playing
the last 20 minutes, bro.
I know. I'm sorry, it's Potter. He does this to me. When you have 2 or 3 players playing bad, you go in on the players because they're not understanding instructions when the rest of the team is cohesive. When the whole team looks disjointed, when all 11 players are scoring under 6, you look at the manager. Potter up.
We're gonna get left behind if we keep this guy till preseason, which I just don't see happening. Arsenal gonna leave us because they've got a proper coach. Man City will go again. They've got Pep. Liverpool might go again. You know, they've got Klopp. You've got, you know, we're just gonna get left behind, and it's gonna be peak.
I don't necessarily believe that. Like
I think we're gonna with Graham Potter, we'll get left behind. Couch. He's not better than any of those coaches that I've mentioned there. If we keep him, if we keep this guy into next season, I've got no hope.
The first thing that caught my attention is when you said Arsenal because they have a proper coach. Come on now, man.
They've got a good coach.
I still don't rate Arteta.
I think he's a good coach.
I don't rate Arteta, but he wasn't that bad because I'm looking at his stat right now. His first 10 games, he won 4 games. The next 10 after that, he's won 5 games. It's not as bad as people say, but...
No, but it's in the middle. People are always polarizing. Arteta's a good coach. He's a better coach than Potter, but he's not elite until he picks up an elite trophy.
He's not elite.
We're talking about what we've seen from him this season. Have Arsenal been the best team this season? Yes or no?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah,
and who's their coach? Who's their coach? You can clearly see that they're being coached correctly, right?
It's down to the coach. That's a top 4 team overperforming.
I'm looking at his worst run, and his worst run's a lot better, like double, triple times better than ours.
And listen, we've gone, even with 2 streams, we've gone over 2 hours now. And I think we've had a very calm, for even our situation, logical, respectful debate on Potter and everything here. We're going to end the stream because Carefree Lewis is about to start anytime soon, or may have already started. So go over to Carefree Lewis because that's going to be a free for, and probably some of us may even be part of it. So, you know, it's all good. But before we do that, and I didn't put in another super chat. The Potter made Skip look like Modric, fam. I mean, yeah. He did make
the guy scored his first goal for Spurs against Chelsea Football Club, man. First ever goal.
Before the game ended, right there and then.
Big up the super chat.
What is there another super chat?
No. That one you read out. I'm saying big up that one.
Yeah, big up super chat. Big up all the super chats. Big up everyone who's left a like. Those that have disagreed with us. Those that have agreed with us. Those that are still pottering. But you're too shameful to say anything today because you know it's not a good time to. If you are pottering, just give me a logical reason.
A logical reason.
What you've seen, because I can't see.
Oh no, there's seen people that want Ronaldo in as well, man.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys already heard the boys backing him, so Chelsea get battered everywhere we go. Everywhere we go.
Andrew, take us out.
Can you mute his mic for a sec? Thank you.
Yes,
I just want to quickly say, Andrew, big up, man. You did a great job today, man, hosting.
Andrew, you done your thing, bro.
That needs to be shouted out, man.
Even with Jem sabotaging the first screen, unbelievable.
Yeah, even with Jem sabotaging, big up the host winner surfer, man. Everybody, give myself golf clap, bro.
Hey, I'm only as good. Listen, that's why I've not spoken a lot, because I got my rant out earlier, bro, for about 30 minutes. I was done, man. And you know how fair I was? I didn't criticize. I didn't rate ZH or Havertz on this stream, so you know what I feel about them. But everyone here, follow these guys. Couch as well, got a channel as well. Go do that. Follow his channel. But, you know, just want to say thank you for everyone being there. Like I say, there possibly might be a preview. There'll definitely be a review after the game on not after the game, but on Sunday. There'll be a review.
Right.
Jem is back. I know. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Might be another therapy session then.
Therapy, nomadic. I need that shit.
But Jem will be back the day after the Dortmund game, and if we lose both games, that could be a huge stream right there. Okay, because Potter may be out. But like I say, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Like, share the video on both channels, sub to them, please. It really helps with the algorithm. And I'm going to be very petty and literally just say, Potter out.